Hey, all. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what it takes and why would you tie the knot at sea. We've had conversations with people recently about wanting to get married, either at sea or on an island, and there's more to it than just saying I do.
First of all, it takes two people.
That would be true.
Yeah.
That would be true. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to get married, on a cruise ship or on a cruise? Let's say that. It's a very unique setting for one. Exchanging, your vows with the horizon, the ocean, as your backdrop is pretty amazing in my opinion. And the ocean provides a tranquil and vast setting symbolizing endless possibilities.
Oh, how romantic.
Yeah. And I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Marketing speak.
Speak.
Spiel. Stuff. No.
For jobs.
So, you want to talk?
Oh, would I like to speak in the video? Sure.
Yes.
The act of marrying at sea combines the thrill of travel and the intimacy of personal ceremony. It offers a journey that begins with your commitment to each other. And the freedom it represents.
Why do you have to talk like that?
Once you're married, there's no freedom.
Yeah,
Right. Let's just face it. I don't care what you look at, but it represents freedom to explore the world together and allows the couples to make a powerful declaration of love in a dynamic environment.
I mean, think about it. It really is a memorable experience. It's more than just a venue. It's unique. It's a unique experience that stands out. I mean, think about it. How many friends do you have or family members who got married at sea? And it promises a distinct and unique beginning to that married life.
And there's thousands of people that you never knew were going to be invited to your wedding.
Yeah, really. So and you don't have to pay for them.
Yes, because they're already there. It's like a built-in crowd. It's great. You also have nature's majesty as your witness. The sea itself acts as a timeless witness to your vows, creates a memorable moment that is both inspiring and grounding. While you're on a ship.
Groundbreaking, grounding. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. The symbolism of the sea. The vastness of the sea symbolizes the depth and unbounded nature of your commitment. It emphasizes the journey ahead with its limitless horizons.
All right, so now we're going to talk some details.
Legal.
First, pretty much every major cruise line has a wedding group or department
coordinator type of thing.
A lot of times they are not employees of that cruise line. They are, for lack of a better word, event planners, wedding planners who work with Royal or Princess or Carnival. So they kind of know all the ins and outs that are required by their respective cruise line. So your first step, if you're thinking about it, is to Google, wedding on Royal Caribbean or wedding on NCL, and start looking at and reaching out to those companies to find out. Because there's it's just like anything else. Is for this to be a legal binding, marriage, you gotta dot your I's and cross your T's. So first up, let's talk about legal recognition. You have to verify that the marriage laws of the flag state under which the ship is registered. So let me rephrase that. If you're going on a Royal Caribbean ship and the ship is registered in the Bahamas, then your marriage will be under the laws and guidelines of the Bahamas. So you have to find out where the ship is registered and what the rules of that country are. Okay, and you want to ensure that your marriage license will be recognized in your home country, because you're not being married if you're from the U.S., you're not being married in the U.S., you're being married in the Bahamas or in Jamaica or wherever.
Well, the other thing, too, is you can always call your local town hall and see if they can offer you guidance.
Hopefully, your local, town clerk or city hall rep, whatever, would know that. I don't know if they do or not, but there's some documentation that is required.
Both parties must have valid passports.
Now, let's talk about that real quick, because in the past we've talked about, closed loop cruises only needing birth certificate and driver's license. If you're getting married in a foreign country, and you are, you need a passport. Okay, don't try and just do the birth certificate license thing. Get a passport. Make sure that otherwise it's not going to work. So also you need
birth certificates and if applicable, divorce decrees or death certificates for previous spouses. Now, but the passport is most people change. One person changed their last name.
Yeah, sometimes, not all the time, but right.
Some,
Yep.
yes. I was forced to. Wink, wink. I'm kidding. I wasn't forced to do anything.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was. But you have up until a year after your passport, if you're just getting a passport.
This is for the USA.
Yes.
Okay, if you're not from the USA, they probably had some sort of stipulations in your home country, but
yes,
talk to the passport people.
Do not change your name prior to your marriage. Well, because you need legal documentation for that anyway, but we're going on to a whole nother ball of wax.
Marriage license. Obtain a marriage license from the jurisdiction where the ship is registered if required. Some of the cruise lines or these other companies will assist with that process. Talk to them. They have the scoop. They do this for a living. So, make sure that you know those rules. The captain's authority. So, of course, people get married at sea. They want to get married by the captain. Confirm that the ship's captain for the cruise you want to do this on is legally allowed to officiate marriages at sea. Not all captains have that authority. It depends on the ship's registry. It depends on the cruise line.
Multiple factors.
Right.
Witnesses. Can I get a witness? I'm kidding. Anyway, determine the number of witnesses.
We are not a singing YouTube channel here.
Trust me, I can't carry that in a bag. Determine the number of witnesses required and ensure their availability. Cruise staff can often serve as witnesses as needed, if needed.
As if needed. How about that? Excuse me.
Legal preparations. Consider completing pre-marriage legal arrangements such as prenuptial agreements before boarding. Legal consultations before the voyage can ensure that all documentation is in order.
Now, post-ceremony paperwork. Confirm with the cruise line or the cruise line company that does this.
The coordinator.
Confirm the process for receiving that official marriage certificate. Some cruise lines handle this, but there may be a waiting period. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, and unfortunately, some cruise lines will not allow a travel agent to do this for you. They require that they are speaking with one of the people that's getting married, which honestly I can understand because they're asking you for legal names and addresses and paperwork and passport numbers and a lot of stuff that it would just get muddied if you had somebody in between you and that company. So, but now the travel agent can still book the cruise for you, but the wedding company has to do the wedding part.
Choosing the right cruise line for your wedding. And look at cruise lines that specializes in weddings at sea. Think Disney for fairy tales or Norwegian for freestyle loving. Well, that sounds weird. The importance of understanding what each package includes. Not all treasures are buried, and some are in the fine print.
So every one of these companies has got a package. If you want to bring two people on, just the two of you, well, you get this, and this for this price. If you want to bring 20 people, you get this, and this for that price, and on and on and on. And make sure you read all the documentation, all the fine print, so that there are no surprises on your day.
Yes. Venues on board. Potential ceremony locations from the grandeur of the main deck under the stars to the intimacy of the chapel with ocean views. The magic of saying I do with the ocean as your backdrop.
Make sure you talk to that company, find out where they'll allow you to get married.
I mean, you wouldn't want to get married out on deck if it's downpouring, but...
Well, right. Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't want to get married... Well, who knows? Maybe somebody would want to get married in the main dining room in the middle of the 5:30 p.m. dinner seating. Who knows?
You might.
Yeah. Customization options, from tropical floral arrangements to a sea-themed cake. There's a bunch of ways you can tailor that big day so that it's your big day. Entertainment options, same thing. Make sure your guests are engaged in the fun part. So yeah,
The legalities.
back to legalities. Flag state jurisdiction, marriages at sea are governed by the laws of the country the ship's registered in. As we mentioned before, there are certain things that we're emphasizing through repeating to make sure that you don't miss out on those details.
Also known as
Reiterating. Yeah.
Thank you. You kind of
Legal age.
Both parties.
Go ahead, ladies first for once.
Both parties must meet the legal age requirement for the flag state or provide parental consent if under that age. A marriage license. Couples may need to obtain a marriage license from the flag state. The captain's role.
As we said before, only certain captains are authorized to conduct marriages. It depends on the ship's flag state regulations and the cruise line. Excuse me, recognition in your home country. Ensure, double check, triple check, call anybody and everybody. Ensure that marriage certificate will be recognized in your home country. It might require additional documentation to get that. It might require waiting periods,
like 90 days to be
I don't
able
think
to,
90. I think like 3 days in country, things like that.
Okay.
Witness requirements. Different countries, different states require a different number of witnesses. Same-sex marriages.
Recognition and the legality depend on the flag state's laws requiring same-sex marriages. Divorced/widowed parties may need to provide divorce decree or spouse's death certificates.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much all countries require that. They don't want to marry somebody who's still technically married.
Hey, knock your socks off. Official marriage certificate is issued by the ship or through the flag state's legal system. Confirm the process for your specific cruise line.
Pre-marriage counseling.
Don't do it. That's my counseling.
Some flag states or cruise lines might require couples to undergo some pre-marriage counseling. Talk to the cruise coordinator, the wedding coordinator. Planning coordination. Number one rule.
Start early.
Yep.
Begin planning at least 6 to 12 months in advance to ensure availability and accommodations and any legal requirements.
We had a couple that came to us and were interested in getting married on board, and ultimately they weren't able to do it because the cruise ship required at least 90 days notice to plan the event. And unfortunately, this couple decided on it about 83 days, 82 days before, and the cruise ship that they wanted to go on was already booked. There was no more room for any more weddings.
It actually worked out well.
Yeah. Choose your cruise line. Look into a couple of different cruise lines' wedding packages. See what the differences are. See if one has, if you guys are big Disney fans or Marvel fans, well, see what Disney has. See if they'll, do a Marvel themed wedding or Star Wars themed or whatever,
It'll be marvelous.
Review those wedding packages again in detail. Make sure that you know the location of the reception, what photography services are included, is a cake included, is a DJ included, all of that.
All the little things that you would want to have at your wedding.
Yeah, it's very similar to planning a wedding at home.
Yes. Legal paperwork. Coordinate with a cruise line or a wedding planner to understand and complete necessary legal paperwork. Your onboard coordinator. Utilize the services of the cruise line's onboard wedding coordinator for planning and day of coordination. Your customization options. Discuss customization options for the ceremony and reception to personalize your wedding day. Guest accommodations. Arrange group booking rates for your wedding guest and communicate booking details well in advance. To say that you don't have to have 500 people with you, right, but it would be nice.
If you want to, you book a group rate. Group rates usually start at 9 to 10 rooms, maybe 8 depending. So you're not talking 400 people. You could get a group rate, for 20 people. But think about that well in advance. So the same reason, as we've discussed, you really want to start 12 months ahead of time.
Yes. Onshore activities. Plan any onshore activities or excursions for guests, especially if you're considering an onshore wedding ceremony or photo shoot. Reception and dining. Decide on reception details, including dining options, seating arrangements, and entertainment.
Just like with a regular,
Absolutely.
home-based, or land-based wedding.
Communication is key.
What?
People. I'm sorry, you're not listening. Keep regular communication with your cruise line or wedding planner to stay updated on all details and any changes.
And if they seem to be ghosting you, call them. Call them every day. Email them every day.
Escalate.
You're not the only wedding they're planning. This is your only wedding. Well,
Hopefully.
at this time,
Yeah.
at least. But, they're coordinating 10, 20, 50 other weddings. So make sure you're at top of mind. Let's put it that way.
Also, you want to document the time, date, and the person that you speak with so that you have something to go back on. So the final check. Conduct a final review of all plans, guest accommodations, and legal paperwork a few weeks before the wedding.
There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to plan, just like a land-based wedding. So don't go into it, hey, you know what? Let's hop on a boat next week and, get hitched. This is not Vegas. Anyway, now that we've given you a bunch of information on the what's, when's, who's, how's, and why's on Time and Out at Sea, check out this video we did recently about how you can cruise smarter.
What?